My stepfather-in-law told my husband I was too moody to be taken seriously. I thought it was just talk. But then I found out he secretly submitted a rental application for my husband, without me. Just in case you guys split, he said casually. I was done. I pulled the lease document, highlighted every forged field, and reported him for identity fraud. When the leasing agent called him to verify, I was on the other line, listening, recording, waiting. I'm 34 and married to Ryan, 35. We live in Tacoma, Washington. Not a flashy city, but it's home. I work at a dental office as a receptionist. Ryan's in IT. We met in college, got married 5 years ago, and we've had a mostly solid relationship. Things didn't go south between us. They went south around us. The problem was Mike, Ryan's stepdad. His mom married Mike when Ryan was a teenager. Mike is one of those older guys who thinks he knows everything. He says things like, I just tell it like it is, and I don't sugarcoat truth. Which usually means he's rude as hell. From the first time I met him, I could feel it. He looked me up and down like he was deciding if I passed some kind of test. He was polite on the surface, but under it, he thought I was beneath him. I knew it. He'd always say things like, she's got a temper, huh? When I had a strong opinion, or wow, that's dramatic, when I talked about a bad day. I learned to fake smile. For Ryan's sake. Then I found out what he really thought. A few months ago, Ryan came home with a weird look on his face. We were thinking about moving at the time, nothing serious. Just looking at places with more space. He said, I got a weird call today from a leasing agent. I stopped what I was doing. What do you mean? They said they got our rental application, but I didn't submit anything. My heart dropped. I didn't either. He pulled up the email he got. There was a full application on file, with his full name, social security number, employer, salary, and even an emergency contact. But here's the kicker. I wasn't on the application. Instead, the co-signer was Mike. I stared at it. Ryan was confused. I was pissed. Why would Mike co-sign a lease application for you? I asked slowly. He didn't answer right away. Then he said, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to help. Nope. That didn't track. I told him to forward me the email. I looked at the PDF file and started going through it line by line. It was forged. Some of the details were close but not right. His salary was wrong by a few thousand. His middle name was spelled wrong. Even his driver's license number was 1 digit off. It looked like someone had guessed their way through his information. That someone was Mike. I didn't say much that night. I just saved the file. 2 days later, I called the leasing office. I pretended to be from Ryan's job and asked some basic questions. The woman on the phone was nice and didn't suspect anything. Then I asked, hey, who submitted the application? We're just trying to make sure there's no confusion. She said, a man named Mike. I assumed he was Ryan's dad. He told us he was helping because Ryan might be moving out soon. I almost dropped the phone. He said that. Yep. He said it was a private matter, but that Ryan would be moving on his own. That night I told Ryan. He looked stunned. I think deep down he already knew Mike didn't like me, but this was a new level. I said, your stepdad forged your information and applied for an apartment. Behind my back. What the hell? Ryan was quiet. Finally, he admitted something. He's been telling me for months that you're too emotional, that I should think about what life would be like if we split. That hit hard. I didn't cry. I just went cold. So, I made a decision. I went back to the leasing document. I highlighted every incorrect or forged detail, license number, salary, job title, even the email address. Then I attached it to a formal complaint and reported it to the leasing company's fraud department. Then I went one step further. I reported the identity theft to the Tacoma Police Department. It took some explaining, but they took it seriously once I showed proof that Mike had no legal right to submit anything on Ryan's behalf. Especially not with personal info like social security numbers. But I wasn't done. I called the leasing agent again and told her the police might be contacting her. She got nervous and asked if Mike would be in trouble. I said, he should be. What he did was criminal. A few days later, they called Mike to verify the application. What he didn't know was I was on the other line. I had arranged a three-way call with the leasing agent. I recorded everything. She asked, "Hi, Mike. We just wanted to verify a few details on Ryan's application." And he said, "Yeah, no problem." I figured I'd help him out since he might be separating from his wife. That was it. The moment. He said it casually, like we were already done.
Like I didn't exist.
Like he had the right. I sent that recording straight to the police. Now I'm waiting. Charges might take time. But Mike doesn't know I recorded him. He doesn't know I filed a fraud complaint.
Not yet.
But he's going to find out. Things got worse before they got worse after the call was recorded. I thought I'd feel better. I thought, finally, I have him. But I didn't feel better. I felt sick. I hadn't told Ryan about the recording yet. I was afraid of what it would do to him. Mike might be his stepdad, but they were still close. That kind of closeness, the kind that comes from someone helping raise you, it's hard to shake, even when that person turns into a snake. I waited 2 days before I sat Ryan down. I didn't try to ease into it. I just said, "I need to tell you something." I recorded Mike.
He blinked. What?
I asked the leasing agent to call him with me on the line. He told her you might be separating from me, and that's why he submitted that fake rental app. Ryan just stared at the wall for a long time. Then he got up, walked into the kitchen, and didn't say anything for a while. "I don't know what to say," he said finally. "He told me he thought you were moody, too emotional, but I didn't think he'd go this far." There it was again.
Moody.
I could feel my jaw clenching. "You believed him?" "I didn't say that," he said, but his tone told me he wasn't sure. "You didn't defend me." "I didn't think I had to," he said. That hurt worse than anything Mike did. For the first time since we got married, I told Ryan I was thinking about a separation. Not because of Mike. Because of him. Because he let his stepdad manipulate him. Because he didn't shut it down when someone attacked his wife behind her back. We agreed to take space. Ryan moved into his brother's house temporarily. That's when things got ugly. Mike started calling me. At first, it was fake concern. "Just checking on you. I hope we can talk." I never meant to cause problems. I didn't answer. Then the voicemails changed. "You're destroying this family." I was trying to protect Ryan. "If you keep this up, you'll be the one who gets hurt." That one? I sent it to the detective working our case. I thought that would be the worst of it. I was wrong. A week later, someone tried to open a new credit card under my name. I got the alert from my bank. Same email as the fake rental app. It wasn't even subtle. I went numb. And then I snapped. I called Mike's work. He's a financial consultant, at least he was. I didn't tell them he was a fraud. I just let them know there was an open investigation for identity theft and that their employee was involved. You could almost hear the panic through the phone. They promised to review it internally. That same night, Ryan called me. "I talked to my mom," he said. I almost laughed. "Is she still defending him?" "She was," he said, until I showed her the recording. Silence. She had no idea. She cried. I didn't respond. "He's out," Ryan said. She told him to leave. She said if he could lie to her son and forge papers behind her back, she couldn't trust him. I wanted to feel something, pride, relief. But I felt nothing. I said, "That's between them. I'm done." Because at that point, I wasn't sure if I could ever forgive Ryan either. Ryan kept trying. He started texting more. Calling. Asking if I'd talk to him in person. At first, I ignored him. I needed space and I didn't trust him. Not after how quickly he caved to Mike's whispers. But one message caught my eye. It said, "There's more. He forged something else. I didn't know. Can we talk?" That got my attention. We met at a park halfway between our places. It was cold out and the air felt heavy. He looked tired, like he hadn't slept right in weeks. "I checked my credit reports," he said. I got paranoid. "What did you find?" He pulled out his phone and showed me a screenshot. Mike had taken out a personal loan using Ryan's name months ago. Not a huge one, about $8,000, but still. It was sitting there under Ryan's credit. Unpaid. I swear I didn't know, he said. I thought it was a mistake at first. But then I saw the email linked to it, same one he used on the rental app. My stomach turned. You need to go to the police. Again. I already did. I updated the report. I asked him, why would he take out a loan in your name? He hesitated. That's the worst part, he said. I asked my mom. She thinks he was trying to set me up so that if we did split, you'd walk away from the debt and I'd be stuck with it. Alone. That was cold. Calculated. Why the hell would he go that far? Ryan looked me in the eyes. Because he thinks I'm better off without you. And he's willing to lie, steal, and screw over his own stepson to make it happen. I didn't say anything for a long time. I just stared at the ground. All that time, I thought Mike didn't like me because I was moody or too much. But that wasn't it. He didn't just dislike me. He wanted to erase me. Ryan kept talking. He told my mom that divorcing you would set me free, his words. He said I could move back to Florida, start fresh, work for his old friend who owns a company down there. I blinked. Wait, what?
Yeah.
He was trying to get me to leave the state. He even said he'd help with the first 6 months of rent. It hit me then this wasn't just identity fraud. This was sabotage. He forged Ryan's info, tried to force us apart, took out debt in his name, and tried to manipulate him into leaving me and leaving town. This man had a full plan. And if I hadn't caught that rental app, he might have pulled it off. I felt something shift in me that day. Not just anger. Resolve. If he thought he could destroy my life and walk away like it was just a clever trick, he was about to find out how wrong he was. Final update. He thought he could ruin me quietly. I made sure. He went down loud after Ryan told me everything about the loan, the job offer in Florida, the lies his stepdad had been planting for months. I went straight to Detective Harris. She was handling our fraud case. I brought every document, every screenshot, every voicemail. I even brought a printed email Mike had sent to Ryan with the line, "If you don't act soon, she'll drag you down with her." That was all she needed. The police opened a wider investigation. They pulled phone records, bank transfers, emails. And it all led back to Mike. Turns out this wasn't his first dance with fraud. Back in 2004, Mike was sued by an old business partner for financial misconduct. Nothing stuck back then, settled privately, but it showed a pattern. A pattern that helped convince the DA to press charges. Fraud. Identity theft. Attempted coercion. He was arrested at his office. In a full suit, in front of his coworkers. I wasn't there. But someone sent me the video from the lobby security camera. He tried to smile at first. Act calm. But when they cuffed him, his face cracked. Finally, a real expression. He posted bail, but the damage was done. He got fired within 48 hours. His company released a statement about ethical concerns. Ryan's mom filed for separation. I didn't expect that. I figured she'd stand by him no matter what, but she told me, "If he can lie to you, he can lie to me." And just like that, his world fell apart. But here's where I made my own mistake. I thought once Mike was taken down, Ryan and I would fix things. We tried. We moved back in together. We talked more. Went to therapy. But I couldn't shake it. The way he let Mike plant those seeds. The way he didn't shut it down. One night I said, "If you had believed me from the beginning, none of this would have happened."
He didn't argue.
Just said, "I know." And that was it. We filed for divorce 3 months later. It was quiet.
No lawyers.
Just paperwork. We both made mistakes. But only one of us tried to ruin another person's life. Mike was sentenced to 18 months in prison. No parole for the first year. He still sends letters to Ryan. Ryan doesn't read them anymore. As for me, I stayed in Tacoma. Got a new place, new job. Sometimes I still get anxious when the phone rings or a strange number shows up in my inbox. But I'm not scared of people like Mike anymore. He thought I was moody, too emotional,
Weak.
but I was the one who ended his career, his fake image, and his control. And I didn't have to scream or fight to do it. I just listened, recorded, and waited.